the college and movement officer. Uh, Today we have Bhargav. So Bhargav is one of our CIP students. He is from 2019, a very active student. And during that time, we didn't have an agreement with University of Concordia, Edmonton, but we still help students who do connect with us, especially good students and superstars like Bhargav. uh, and he graduated, and we recently, finally, after some time, after a couple of years of trying, we got this approval for Indian students. So Bhargav, we just wanted to have a feedback. It's seeing is believing, and when you talk to the students who graduated from the university, it gives you a different perspective, and also we want to make sure that students have a genuine feedback as to the education. So Bhargav graduated from University of Concordia, Edmonton, and he had that. I always used to, he's very proactive, and he was, I follow him on his Facebook. He had a good time, a lot of travel, big nice pictures. If you see his profile pictures out there, Alberta is a beautiful place, especially in the summer. It gets cold in the winter, obviously, but you'll get used to that. So welcome to our live session, Bhargav, and thank you for joining our, as we call it, the live talk show, Student Spotlight. So yeah, please. So yeah, a short introduction about yourself, Bhargav.
So hello everyone. So my name is Bhargav Nakina. So I'm basically from Hyderabad, India. So I graduated from Concordia University in 2021. I'm a student of class 2019 and 2021. So I did take a MISIM course, Masters in Information System Security Systems Management. During my tenure, I also served as a VP Finance for Graduate Students Association Council. So that's everything from my end. So I'm open for your questions, and I would be happy to answer your questions today.
Yeah. So Bhargav, how was when you were in India? I remember talking to you. So why did you choose Canada as the first choice? For especially for Telugu students, they're all stuck on the US. So what was your thought when you decided to come to Canada? When you decided Canada?
So as everyone, when I started thinking about my future studies, so I was in a confusion state whether I should opt for UK, US, Australia, and Canada. So after a lot of research and checking about pros and cons, so I chose Canada because of its because of its nature towards the immigrants and towards the international students. So when you check about your future, so after 2 years of your studies, you will get 3 years of work permit, and you can work for any employer. And with 1 year of work experience, you are eligible to apply for PR, like if you met the required points. So after all these pros and cons and checking whether it's a good fit or not, I finally chose Canada because it helps me in my future, and I can settle out here, and I can earn some good amount, and I can take care of my parents. Yeah, that's the reason I chose Canada.
Very true. It's very important for international students who are planning to go abroad to understand, if your plan is to study, work, and live, you have to plan carefully. You have to understand what are the post-study opportunities. You have to understand what is the process, right? Many students think, okay, let's go there and then we'll decide whatever happens will happen and we'll work out. But again, you really have to be on the top of it. You have to research. So just for the comparison, for all the students who are considering Canada and US, in Canada, international students can work 20 hours a week. In US, international off campus, international students cannot work. Second, after your studies, you receive an open work permit in Canada, no tax attached. In US, optional training program, you have to apply. It's an extension 2 times. So first you apply for an F1 OPT, and then you have to apply for a STEM OPT, and you have to have a job in your specialty to do that. In Canada, you don't really need that. If you study for 2 years, you'll be eligible for up to 3 years work permit, and you can work in any employer. Third, very important, after your post studies in Canada, You work for 1 year and you get your PR. You don't really need any sponsorship for an employer. In the US, after OPT, you need an employer to support you for an H-1B visa. No issues like that in Canada. And in US for H-1B, it's a big challenge. There are only 60,000 H-1B for highly skilled professionals and 25,000 for students who graduated masters in the US. And out of this, so total only 85,000. And out of the 60,000 H-1B, all the big tech companies, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Facebook, they also submit H-1B petitions, and they use about 30 to 40,000 out of the 60,000, right? So it's a very big challenge. And also getting a green card in US takes about 15 years. So these are the factors you all have to understand before you make a decision. In Canada, if you work for 1 year and you have the English requirements and your job qualifies, you can apply for your PR, and within 6 months to 6 to 8 months, you will get your PR or the Canadian green card, as we call it, PR here. So very good decision, Bhargav. Yes. So, why did you check in? Why did you wanted to add something here?
Yeah, I would also I would also suggest all the students who want to study abroad, just go through your social networking sites and find those who are already studying or already working in different countries, and talk with them and check what hard things are they are facing, what are the daily challenges they are facing, and so just break it down country by country and choose which country suits you, then decide what you want to do in your future studies.
Yes. One question regarding how you ended up here. There are so many agencies, sub-agents and agencies in India. You applied through CIP. How did you find about CIP, and how was your experience with CIP?
Yeah, so CIP is not the first consultancy I directly came through. So after all the research, after going through multiple consultants, I didn't find anyone who is like, okay, whose words gave me some confidence that, okay, we will apply for you. You can get this admission in college and we will take care of it. I didn't find any confidence in any other consultant. So after all the research and going through the social websites, and I found CIP and I called Anil sir. I don't know if he remembers me. It's been a long time.
Of course, I remember. It
Yeah.
takes for every student, Anil especially works with, and me.
Yeah.
I talk talk to most of the students. Unfortunately, limited time. But again, every student is at least 100 hours of talking, right, with the visa process and everything. So we will never forget applicants.
Yeah, so I spoke with Anil sir and Akila ma'am. So after that, even after our first communication, we haven't met. We just spoke over the phone, and I happened to get Gautam sir's number, and I called in one night, and we had a brief chat. Like I told, I am from this locality, and he said he used to be there in like 10 to 15 years back, and we had a good chat, and I explained my situation, and he was like, okay, I will speak to Anil and just go with him, and he will take care of it. So I went to Anil sir, and I think I spent almost 4 to 5 days, like 3 to 4 hours applying and waiting to submit my visa. And finally, after submitting my visa, at that time I had to wait 31 days. It's like, okay, I'm counting every day, every day. At that time, the SDS was only like 12 to 14 days to get any update. But I applied for a non-SDS visa, so it take like 31 days. And after 31 days, I was so happy, and I called Gautam sir, I called Anil sir, and I expressed my happiness to them, and they were all happy at the time.
Yes, it was. It's such an important journey, and it's a bit. We try to be in touch with the students after coming here, and obviously we cannot replace mother and father out here after coming, but at least we are here if there is any emergency, any help. We're always here to support. Sometimes it's difficult to talk all the time, but given the volume of students, but any emergency, and also we support with study permit, PR. It's not a difficult process. If you have any questions, any help, we have the CIP team to help. So, how was your transition from Canada, from India to Canada? What was How did you feel? Like, this is the first time you're traveling abroad. So what are the challenges you had? And what was the what did you feel anything shocking? How was your transition? And what would you advise students?
So obviously, when I got the news that I got the visa, I was so happy. And the next phase is traveling to Canada. So what I did, and I would also suggest everyone that just speak with all the peers in already living in Canada as a student. So just talk to them. What are the hard things? What are the challenges they face? And what are the things you need to bring while coming to Canada, and just make a note of everything. So initially, even I was in a stage, I was like hurry burry, like what to do. And I was calling everyone and checking with them, like what are the things I have to bring and what will be the challenges I have to face. Will I get the part-time jobs? How can I apply for the part-time jobs? On all these questions. And same as everyone, I boarded my first flight in my life. So this I haven't boarded any flight earlier, so that was my first flight to Canada. So I was so excited after like 1.5 days of journey. We landed in Canada. So we were three at the time. So we came together, and one of my friend's own sister was living here. So we didn't had that a challenge of getting a room, finding for a room, finding for a good locality near the university and stuff. So the good thing happened to us was like they were already living here, so they helped us. And initially, first 1 week was like everything is new. I was like, I got a bicycle at the time, so I was just roaming and exploring the streets. And after 1 week, before 3 to 4 days of my university start date, I started applying for part-time jobs. Just prepared a basic resume and applied for like around 90 to 100 jobs. And one fine day, I got a call from Subway. I got a job in Subway. That was a great experience. The transition was same as everyone, with a lot of questions in mind, but I would suggest just go with the flow, have a relaxed mind. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask anyone. It's all new for everyone, so you will learn a lot.
So before I dive into your studies, for many students, part-time job is very important, right? I always say, you guys, you have your GIC, focus on $100,000 job and not a part-time job, though it is important. So how are the part-time job opportunities in Edmonton? And for you and your friends, how difficult was it for you to find a job? And all the 2 years you studied there, did you face any challenges with part-time jobs?
Yeah, so part-time jobs is the biggest challenge for every international student. Some will get in just a week, and some has to wait 1 or 2 months. So even in our friend circle, some people got right after they land, like 3 to 4 days, and some people had to struggle 1 to 2 months. So I would say apply. There are job portals like Indeed. Apply with your basic resume and just go to a local stores and just drop your resume. There are a lot of part-time jobs opportunities in Edmonton. You will find one eventually, but all you need to do is do some your homework. And there are some licenses called security license. So if you write your security license, it's gonna cost you around like $450 to $500. But I would say that investment is a good investment. So if you get a security job, you will get a 10-hour shifts, just 2 days of your 7 days in a week. You will be able to do your 20 hours quota of your part-time job, and you have 5 days to study. So for the newcomers, I would suggest to write a security license. If you are not interested in security field, there are restaurants, there are malls. So all you need to have is a patience. Just spend a couple of hours in a week or to apply for the jobs, and prepare a basic resume which suits the needs of that job.
Okay, thanks, Bhagat. Getting back to University of Concordia, Edmonton, how was your experience out there with studies? You were very proactive. You were the vice president in the Students Association, and so how did you enjoy? How were the students out there, and also the education process?
Yeah, so when coming to Concordia University of Edmonton, so those 2 years I studied there, those are wonderful moments. I enjoyed a lot being out there. So even when compared to other universities, I would say this is a little small university. You will not expect a big buildings. There are only a couple of buildings, but the quality of education is very, very fine. So when I was studying, I had a 60 credit of program. So it's a lot of coursework to do, but I just had a call with some of the current students studying in university. So right now they trim the credits to 32 credits, and they make it little simple when compared to our time of studies. So the quality of your education is very good, and professors are very proactive to respond to all your queries. And the labs are very good. So you can spend as much as time in the university and study as much you want. And there is a good library with lot of um, there's a good library with lot of books. And you will also have on campus part-time jobs. You can work as an IT support technician, and there is a small Starbucks store. You can work in Starbucks, and there is also a cafeteria. You can also work in cafeteria. And when it comes to the student council, so every year they will have student council elections. You can participate in that. It's a great platform. You will have an opportunity to meet with a lot of peers in the university. You will have meetings with Alberta government. You will have meetings with ministers. You can express all your thoughts, and there is a chance of getting grants to the university. So you will play an important role being in a student council. So bringing all to that, my university experience was very good. So I can remember a lot of sleepless nights completing the assignments and all the stuff. But when I was studying in the middle of my I think 1.5 semester, and it transitioned to the online. So I would say I only had 30 to 40% of my um, 30% of my experience in on campus, and the rest of it online. But yeah, it's a good university, and you can, if you are so interested in missing like information security or assurance. And there is a new course of MSc IT, which also offers co-op after your studies. Yeah, one of the best university if you want to choose.
So which program did you study in Concordia University, Edmonton?
Yeah, I
What did
studied masters in information system security management. Right now, they are offering three different courses: MISIM, which I studied, MISAM, a masters in information systems assurance, and MSIT. So MSIT is a new program. I think it's launched in 2020 with a co-op. For the one for the students who are interested in accounts and finance, I would say suggest MISAM. For the students who are interested in information system security, so you can go for MISIM. So I don't have much knowledge of MSCIT, but if you have any questions, and you can shoot me, I have my friends, I can get back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Barko. So how was the study load? Again, yeah, guys, it's a big commitment. I really, want all the students who are planning to study, especially, colleges or universities in Canada, you will really have to put in a lot of effort. If you don't focus, if you fail, it is going to be a problem. Some universities usually, they might have an option to retake, but most universities would argue to drop your studies. So you really have to put a lot of effort in your study. So how was your study load, and what you felt, were there any difficult moments out there when it comes to the academic achievements and completing your assignments and tests?
Yeah, a lot. So during our tenure, so our was 60 credits, a lot of coursework to do, and we have to do 5 semesters. Usually the university, any school or university will have 4 semesters, and we also used to have a spring semester in the summer break. for 2 months. So in the 2 months, you will have the same coursework as a normal semester. So it was a very tough for us. So most of the students were dropped out after 1 year because of the coursework. So if you hang in there, and if you are confident on you, you can go ahead and complete your masters. So in our when we were in the university, like I would say 40 to 50% people were dropped out after 1 year because of the coursework. So if you are choosing the Concordia University of Edmonton, I would suggest, if you are confident enough to that, and you are so focused on your studies, I would suggest you to choose this one, because the quality of education is very good, and the professors are very good, and you will have to complete a research project at the end of the at the end of your um, master's course. So you should have a good knowledge on what you have studies. But now when I spoke with the current students, they said the coursework has trim it down. So we used to have a lot of management courses, accounts courses, finance courses. Right now, either he said that they have removed, or they have combined, merged it into a single course. Right now, it's only 4 semesters and 33 credits, and there is a option of research and a capstone project at the end of your masters. So when I researched about capstone project, so I will say the difference between the research and capstone project. So if you opt for the research program at the end of your masters, so professor will help you out with a topic to discuss for the research, and you will work with professor in order to complete the research. So when you choose a capstone project, so
yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, capstone project is an opportunity where you will work with the real-time industry experts. So there are a lot of industries across Edmonton and Alberta. So they have a small research topics they want to complete. So they will help you out with that research project, and they will help you with that research in order to complete, and it will have a good weightage on your resume. So overall, the coursework right now is little easy when compared when we were studying, but still it's a big challenge if you want to take this course, and you'll have to work hard in order to complete this course.
Yes, any course. I started my journey also as an international student in Canada, as an adult international student. I'm 47, and I moved to Canada when I was 30. I applied for study visa when I was 38. So guys, it is not, it's not something which you can accomplish without commitment. So very important that you are very committed to your studies and focus on your studies. Your success in your studies will define your future in Canada. So this is very important as well. So regarding Edmonton, it's not just about study, but again, 2 years is a substantial time. And you lived in a city of Edmonton. I remember, I haven't visited Edmonton, but I remember they have the largest mall in North America, right? They have a huge mall out there. So how was your experience living in Edmonton? Was it a vibrant city, or what were your thoughts on Edmonton?
So I haven't been to Toronto, but I have been to Vancouver. So first thing, don't compare with other cities. Edmonton has its unique taste. So it's a good city. You will have a lot of parks, and just a 3 hours drive to Banff, where you have a lot of mountains, and you can do a lot of trekking and stuff. So my experience was Edmonton was very good. So if you have a good people around you, wherever you stay, it will always be a good thing. Like any other city, it has all night culture. You can enjoy when you're free in your break time, and even the cost of living, cost of expenses are very less when compared to other cities like Toronto and Vancouver. So on an average, a student can sustain for at least for 700 to 800 for a month. So you can earn like around 1,000 to 1,200 with your part-time job, and you will have a GSC in your first year. So the cost of living and expenses are very less compared to other cities. What else I can say about the Edmonton? I loved I loved Edmonton a lot while I'm studying, and unfortunately I have to move to a different city now. I'm hoping to go back to Edmonton, and I would say after living in 2 years in Edmonton and Calgary, I would say I will settle down either of one of those two cities rather than any other city.
Yes, there's always a special attachment when you come first time, you live there. It is your hometown, home city, and it's very difficult to, even when you move out, to settle down, right? Especially, your student time when you study in a college or a university, it's probably one of the best times of your life, right? So yeah, thank you, Bhargav. So after your graduation, your job, right? How was your experience with finding a job, and how difficult was it? And and if you can tell me about your current job.
Yeah, so I would say the job market in Canada has been increased when compared to the previous year. I have some friends who were passed out in 2020. I passed it in 2021. So they found little hard to find a jobs when compared to our batch of people finding a job. So 2020 graduates, they took like 8 to 9 months to find a full-time job in their respective field. But in our batch, most of the guys who passed out in 2021 just got a job in like 4 to 5 months. So job market is very good right now in Canada. All you need to have a right skills. So I found my job after like 4 months of struggle, I would say. But I didn't started applying right away after my course. It's everyone's perspective of applying for a job. So I took a small break and I relaxed myself. I took a small break and I enjoyed for a month or so, and then I started brushing up my skills and started applying. So many rejections. So some people won't even reply you. So all I would say is don't lose your confidence. So stay confident, brush up your skills every day. There is a lot of technologies coming each and every day. So all you need to have the right skills, and you should have the right timing to apply a job, and eventually you will get a job. But it's gonna take a while. But if you have the right skills, eventually you will get a job. So.
True. I've yet to see anyone who did not find a job in Canada and return back. IT industry is booming. The last 2 years, there's been a huge change in the IT industry, especially with the situation in the US and the H-1B challenges. Many US companies are actually hiring from Canada as well. And yesterday, as Bhargav was saying, when you are looking at the job opportunities now, because most of the companies are doing work from home, it's when you see job postings, it says US and Canada. So yes, many students who graduated from our students have found jobs. In fact, many students have received 2 to 3 job offers as well. Okay, so good option. So I hope I'm not distracting you from your work. Last 2 or 3 minutes, like what would be your advice to all the prospective students who are planning to study in Canada and to Concordia Edmonton and study in Concordia Edmonton?
Okay, yeah, my advice to all international students is like just make a list, like what are your preferences, what are you good at, what are your future aspects. So make sure you have a continuity with your previous work or previous studies. So that's the crucial point when applying for studies. So if you did a master's, if you did a bachelor's in computer science and you worked in an IT field, so make sure you have that continuity in choosing your next course. So that will eventually help you in your future jobs or future career. And just speak with as many people as you already studying in Canada. So just tell get to know their experiences and their struggles, their challenges while being while studying and looking for a job. So make sure you make a note of everything you want, everything, and be confident. Yeah, that's everything. Just make sure you know, make sure you know everything before you taking a step.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Bhargav, and appreciate you, finding your time in your busy schedule and sharing your study and work and life in Canada. and also feedback about CIP. So thank you very much, and I appreciate you joining our
Thank you
live
very
stream.
much, guys. Have all the very best for your futures. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Bhargav. I'll reach out to you later. Thank you.